Awesome. I'm just going to wait a couple more seconds just to check that everyone can hear me and that everyone's sort of joined okay and has joined the live intro. It's lovely to see so many of you. Well, cool. So I'm going to get kick-started. Oh, hang on. No, I'm not. I'm just going to wait one more minute. I can just see a message pop up. So yeah, do bear with us and yeah, make sure you're all settled and ready to listen into the kind of introduction to today. Okay, I've been given the go-ahead. Awesome. So welcome to FuturesUP. It's Uptree's virtual careers fair. As you can probably tell by the grin on my face, I am super excited to welcome all of you today, and it's lovely to see so many of you join in from across the UK to learn more about your careers and next steps. We're here to celebrate the kind of 18th FuturesUP that we've ever done. But the first, and the reason I say ever, is the first we've done on this platform, which is obviously really exciting for us all at Uptree, and we really hope you enjoy it. And then we'll be giving you some tips of how to make the most out of Nova as a platform as you go through the course of this afternoon. But we're also here to kind of celebrate the world of early careers today. And I completely understand that some of you may not even know what an early careers role looks like right now. But hopefully by the end of today, you'll know lots more about that, as well as all of the different routes, including kind of apprenticeships, graduate schemes, internships, all of these different routes from employment from school. So yeah, take a moment to write in the chat if it's your first kind of Uptree event with us. I'd be really interested to see how many of you are joining for the first time. And whilst you do that, if Polly, you could just hop onto the next slide for me. I will give you a quick intro to Uptree, so who we are and who am I. So my name is Annabelle. I'm the Senior Partnerships Manager here at Uptree. I'll be joined today by Polly, who you can see on screen, my colleague Ade, also my other colleagues, Rebecca, Caitlin. So I think the message is you will see a lot of us throughout the course of this afternoon in the different booths, which is great. Oh gosh, I can see it's loads of people's first Uptree event. This is awesome. Hi everyone. Thank you for writing that in the chat and letting us know as well. So yeah, I'll tell you a bit about Uptree. Our founder, Tamsin Drewhurst, founded Uptree 5 years ago after a career in education. And a lot of our team have also joined Uptree from careers in kind of education before as well. And FuturesUP is a networking event that's aimed at kind of your age group, so 16 to 20-year-olds. And by attending today, you will develop your professional connections in the sector, in the different sort of areas that you're interested in, but also your confidence when speaking to adults in the kind of workplace. And the virtual world has grown enormously over the last year, as you guys will be aware. And you'll be developing some really key soft skills through the course of today, which will all really help you and stand you in a really good place when you sort of enter the world of work. So it's amazing that you've taken this half day out this afternoon to sort of do that, get ahead of the game, get in front of kind of, you know, other people in terms of your skills when you apply for those roles. So do make the most of it. It's all about finding out what's there for you when you leave school and learning those skills for the future. So yeah, you'll meet with key employers as well to decide on which industry or job you want to go into. So you've all been really proactive to be here, and let's get all of your questions answered. If you want to jump to the next slide, Polly. Amazing. So there's a few ways that you can connect with the employers that we've been working with to put on this event today. A lot of you, I think, have already found the chat box. So there are different chat boxes, both here in the talks and also in the booths that you'll go into next for the networking. And in those virtual booths, you can use your video and your microphone. You can have a face-to-face virtual conversation with employers, and I would really recommend doing that. It can feel a little bit daunting and a bit scary, requesting to go on video with somebody that you've not met before, but the team are all super friendly. They're all used to doing this. They are absolutely there, and they've been really waiting to get all of your questions answered. So do use that functionality and make this a really action-led session. It's important that you do that because it will also make you really memorable as well to the employers that you meet. So if you're interested in potentially having a job with some of those employers in the future, today's a really good chance to kind of have those informal conversations in a really sort of safe environment for you to ask any questions, and there's no such thing as a silly question either. If you need any tech support throughout the course of the afternoon, then all of my team are here to help. So we've got an Uptree booth that you will see next, and you will also be able to contact the help desk. So if you're struggling with internet, or you're finding that you're not able to kind of use the functionality, do not worry at all, it happens. We're right there to help you. So you do just need to let us know through either one of those booths, and we can sort that out for you. But yeah, that's everything from me. Enjoy it. I'm excited to hear everyone's feedback. We've got some sort of quizzes and games that Polly's going to go on and talk to you about now. So I'll pass over to you, Polly, to move forward on that. Thanks, everyone.
Thanks so much, Annabelle. Yeah, I'm really excited to see you all and meet with you all today. So thank you so much for joining. So as you can see, we've got a really, really exciting day ahead of us. So I'm just going to run through kind of what will be happening. So you're already in the kind of first section. We'll be having a really great talk from Rebecca shortly from PwC. And then we'll be going on to the networking sessions, and that will be followed by a talk from ARM, a Q&A, and we'll also be doing a bit of a quiz at the end. You can also see that we put in lots of breaks. We want to make sure that you're able to get up out of your seats during the afternoon, go to the toilet, grab some water, and be just really ready to kind of chat to all of the professionals that you're going to meet today. So that's a bit about what you'll be doing. We'll be sending broadcasts throughout the day, so you don't need to kind of screenshot this or anything. We'll be sending reminders of what's happening next. Now I'm going to go on to talk about the exciting stuff. So we do have a scavenger hunt happening this afternoon. So you can either scan this QR code, or we're about to just pop into the chat the link to fill out the scavenger hunt. And there's some really exciting prizes that you can win if you complete this. So as you can see, there's going to be 225 Amazon vouchers, and then also some careers support sessions with an education expert, as well as some fast track passes to one of our work experience days, which is really exciting. So to do this, all you need to do is throughout the afternoon, have the scavenger hunt open, maybe in another tab or on your phone. And when you find the answer to some of the questions, you can fill it out. And you've got till 12 p.m. on Friday to fill this out. So yeah, really exciting, and a great opportunity as well, just to find out a bit more about the partners that you'll be meeting today as well. Fab. So without further ado, I'm really, really excited to introduce to you our first speaker of the afternoon. And Rebecca is going to speak to you a bit about who PwC are, their opportunities, and in particular, why personal branding is so important. So I'm going to pass over to Rebecca now to kick things off.
Perfect. Thank you very much. Yeah, guys, I'm Rebecca, and I am working at PwC currently. My role is a talent engagement officer, so I'm helping run schemes for students at undergraduate level or up until graduate, and get young talent like you involved in our company. I'm also a student myself. I am on a business year work placement with PwC. So I studied business management and human resource. So really similar to you guys. So any questions, please ask, no silly questions. So I might be able to give you a bit of a better insight from a student perspective too. So just moving on. So a quick run through of our day. So we're going to do a quick look at who PwC are in general, what opportunities we have for people like yourselves with us. Then we've got two little skills sessions. So one about your personal brand and another on online etiquette. And then we're just going to look what you can do after this event, and then any question and answers, I'd be pleased to answer any. Really impressed with how busy the chat box already is. Sometimes students are a little quiet, but yeah, keep it up, guys. It's all really good. So first, who are PwC? So some of you may be in this event now knowing quite a bit about PwC, or some may know nothing, which is both completely fine. A lot of people first say off the bat, PwC is an accounting firm or an audit firm. Yes, we do. We've got a lot of expertise in that level. However, we do quite a lot more than that now. So one of the things we will tell students is you can't walk into a shop and buy a PwC product. Our big selling point and our big feature is our people. So we take great pride in the people that we have and the expertise and advice they can give to clients, whether that's about upgrading their supply chain, merging a company, risk management. There's so much stuff we can give to a company just in our own knowledge and expertise. So that is our biggest feature and our biggest selling point. So that being said, we've got over 22,000 employees in the UK, which is really big scale across the 20 offices that we have. So nationally, we have 20 offices reaching from London all the way through to Belfast. We have some in Scotland. There's literally pinpoints all over the UK. So loads of great points for you to kind of have a look for offices. Now, we are a worldwide company too now, so we operate in 150 countries and we have over 284,000 employees across that. So it really does show that the opportunities at PwC are endless. As soon as you get your foot in the door, you kind of got this reach opportunities. We have lots of secondments where people may move business areas or move to a different office. So a lot of people go on like secondments to Australia, Dubai. So loads of great opportunities. And I think it's only going to keep growing at PwC. So that being said, with all the employees we obviously have a lot of clients too. So we have over 25,000 clients now worldwide. So 25,000 that we are all helping in different lines of service, different needs. Any need, we are here to help them. So it really shows the vast scale we work with. Out of them 25,000, we have some of the top retailers, top supermarkets, top manufacturers, but then we also have the lower scale businesses like your family businesses in your local village, in your areas, anyone we are here to support and help. So it really shows that we are really an inclusive firm and we want to help as much as we can. That being said, we like to keep growing. So we are one of the biggest recruiters for students. We are really impressed with the student talent coming through and we really like to attain that talent and keep it in the business. So yeah, really great that you're all coming here today because there's going to be so many opportunities for you. So moving on a little bit more about PwC. So this pinwheel shows our lines of service. That's what we call it internally at PwC. However, it's just the different business units that we operate in PwC. So I could go through all of them, but it would take me all day to know all the ins and outs of all of them. However, please look on our website for all the different lines of service. You can get so much more information there. However, I'll just go through a couple for you. So audit, that's probably what we're best known for. Audit, we work with companies and have a look at their financial records, their financial statements. We want to make sure everything they're putting out is true and accurate to their business. So that's a really big one, especially in today's climate, making sure all statements and records are accurate and true. Another one, consulting, that's probably one of our most competitive fields. Within that line of service, we've got so many different branches. We have an all new kind of climate and sustainability function at PwC. So that's really looking at the big changes in the world and what we need to do to sustain and keep up with that. We have management consulting, we have strategy, and we have lots of different under consulting. So that's why it's so competitive and it's really great. If you guys are interested, we've got lots of options there. Tech's another really big one. I'll be going on to that later because we do have a degree scheme for that. However, yeah, the tech in the world's completely changing. Like doing a virtual events like this was never a thing at one point. And we only see that growing again. So yeah, lots of different areas to suit everybody's different needs, interests, personalities. So yeah, PwC, I'm sure, could have something to accommodate you and what you'd like to invest in. So this is a really quick brief overview because I will go into some of the bits, but basically this model is just wanting to show you that no matter where you join PwC, whether it's on a virtual Insight Week, which is kind of our week of work experience for Year 12s, whether you join us on an apprenticeship, a degree apprentices, or if you join like me on a work placement, or if you join on a summer internship whilst you're already a student at university, as long as you keep that motivation and keep all them, qualifications and needs and wants to work at PwC, your opportunities really are endless. Like I said, PwC, we do have quite a particular assessment process, and once you're in, we see that we want to keep that talent, retain you, and really just give all the best advice we can to you and also get the best out of you as a student. So yeah, I would say if you are interested, please do get involved because who knows where it will end up and take you in life. So going on to the opportunities then, because we do have quite a lot of different ones for students, which is fab. So there may be someone here that you haven't even thought about yet. So the first one from leaving school, so we do have the Insight Week, which is for year 12. So please do ask any questions if you need any about that. But we're just going to move on from when you've left. So we do school and college leaver apprenticeships, which can vary across the line of services. So we have some in consulting, some in audit, some in deals. So there's loads all over the scale. So they are potentially between 2 years long to 4, just depending on which path you choose and which qualification you're going towards. So although it's not really an academic qualification as such as uni, we still have professional qualifications for your apprenticeships for you to work towards, get a certificate and get something behind yourself as well. So perks of apprenticeships is as soon as you get your apprenticeship and you join PwC, you get your full-time salary because you are an employee as soon as you join. So you get your full-time salary and then we fund your qualification. So by the end of the 2 or the 4 years, you're going to earn some money and walk out with something that's never going to leave you. You can have that qualification no matter where you go from PwC. Another great fact is that it is real work and real responsibility. So you don't get as much experience anywhere else than this kind of route. It really does just it builds on all your skills, like your soft skills, that really does grow, but then also you're just gaining so much on the job from senior managers, partners. I've recently been speaking to a school and college leaver and he was on a job with one of the partners with kind of the whole COVID vaccine, like liaising with the government. So literally your opportunities are endless. Even though you are starting as apprentice, that doesn't decrease your value in the team at all. With that being said, excellent support and progression. No matter where you start, like we said, the opportunities are endless. I know a lot of apprentices that have started that are now been here years and years and they've worked their way up and they've really got some great stories. And also with uni support, once you start as an apprentice, you're not thrown in the deep end. You are given responsibilities and you're not just going to be here just a shadow for the length of time. However, you do get the support. You're going to have a career coach who will maintain your journey with you and also a buddy for help. So loads of support no matter what route. And then obviously no student debt. You're not going to work out £30,000 over your head. You're going to be earning money and not owing any cents. So yeah, really, really attractive program. So moving on to our degree apprentices. So our first one is called Flying Start Accounting. This is kind of one that I'm quite involved with in my team. So this is for an accounting and business route. Although the differences between these ones is it does go through UCAS first. So obviously look at UCAS because they'll give you the exact entry requirements that you need. And it does differ per unit. However, loads of great opportunities. So we offer this course now through Manchester, Newcastle, Nottingham, Reading, and Queen Mary in London. So kind of 5 pinpoints throughout the UK. So when this program started, it was just one university at Newcastle, and now it's grown so fast in maybe a decade's time. So it really shows how attractive this one is. So this is a 4-year course. You will have placements throughout 3 of the years. I think it goes, your first year is fully at uni, then your second, third, and fourth have placements. So when you come on placement, you'll get put into a team, you'll get real life work experience, and it's just as attractive. However, you're walking out with a degree as well. So for this one as well, because you're going towards an accounting degree, you will come out of this program having done 12 of the 15 ACA exams, which get you to the point of being a fully chartered accountant. If you did the normal route at university of an accounting degree, you would come out and still have all 15 to complete. So it really does show the perk of doing this course. Like I said, entry requirements do differ. It is quite a sought after course, so they are generally quite high. However, look at universities, different geographic locations ask for different things and different universities in general. So please go direct to them universities listed if you're interested and see what they request. And that will link up to the UCAS application too. One thing to add to this one is new for 2022 recruits, we are offering a financial bursary. So if you tick certain eligibility criteria, which is generally for low socioeconomic students, for example, if you've ever been eligible for free school meals, if your location that you live in doesn't have a great progression to university, if you're the first in your family, there's different routes, but if you are eligible, you would be granted a £10,000 bursary split across the 4 years to help you settle in with any costs or issues with the university funding that you may need. So yeah, that is really good, and we're probably one of the best top 4 for doing that. I don't think I've heard as much bursary as that. So yeah, please check that one out. Similar course, but it's now a technology degree apprenticeship. So this is specifically for computer science. So this is now offered at Leeds, Birmingham, Queen's, Belfast, and just launched literally this week. We are offering this through Queen Mary's of London again, and that's got kind of a data analyst perspective. So yeah, this one is another really sought after. It's 4 years again in length. The difference with the technology degree is that you come and do your placement in the summer with us. So instead of taking time out of university, you do your university for the year and then you come and do a 10-week placement with us. So that's going to be through 3 of the years. I think the first year, again, you're just doing the full uni, just settling in, getting to your degree, and then you come and have your placements with us. The big difference for the technology degree apprenticeship is that, one, it is paid. The accounting one is paid too for your placements. This one's also paid, and this one is also fully funded. So for this degree apprenticeship, you're going to walk out with a degree, a salary, and no student debt. So it shows the real perk of this one. It's kind of got all the aspects in together, which could be attractive to a student. Very competitive again, very sought after, hence the high entry requirements. But again, this just depends on the exact university. So please check that out. Sorry, I'm just going to pop that. So yeah, that's fab. And this is just growing and growing. Like I said, the London one has just launched this week. So in a few years' time, you don't even know where this will go. Maybe more and more universities added. We are really keen to get people in our tech department. Like I said, it's one of the growing lines of service and all very competitive. So yeah, check that one out too. So now the next one is we have got a business management program. This again, degree apprentice. However, this one is specifically for Ulster University in Belfast. So may not be as feasible for a lot of people unless you're in that area. However, a lot of people do travel for university, so it's still one to kind of tell you about. So this one is about customer management, financial crime, and business operations, which kind of links into our operate business line, which is something quite new and developing in Belfast. And it's really keen, and it's going to gain real momentum, in the next couple of years. So for this one, different to the other two, instead of coming to us and doing placements as such, you go to a university for day release. So you'll be in the office on client jobs for 4 days of the week. And then one of the days you'll go back to Ulster University and get that degree. So this is a 4-year apprenticeship like the other twos. And with all the ones, as long as everything goes okay, which I am more than sure it will, there is future employment. As long as everything is met and the business needs are still fine, we do tend to offer and keep all this talent within the business. So a really reassuring thing as a student to know that you've got that kind of future employability. This is funding, so these tuition fees are paid. So this is going to be no student debt as well. And you're going to walk out with the salary. So it's really fab. And you'll get all the training. So both them 3 programs are so sought after and really competitive. So please have a look, because a lot of for example, my senior manager in my team now, she did the Flying Start accounting. One in my team did the Flying Start accounting too, and now she's the manager. So there's loads of great progression within the company once you do get onto these schemes and get them completed. So for each one's a little bit of a different application process. So for the majority of our courses, 2 to 5 is the application process. So for example, our school and college leaver ones, that's 2 to 5. However, the Flying Start, the 3 that I've just gone through, is also, because you're doing a degree, you have to meet the UCAS side too. So for that one, it'll go 1 to 6. So if you're joining a Flying Start route, you will apply through UCAS. Once you've applied through UCAS, you will then get redirected to PwC, where you have to complete our assessment process too. So as long as you pass our assessment process and the UCAS side, that should be fine. Everybody else will join us on stage 2. So if you're at university doing an internship or a placement, or you're a school and college leaver, you'll join at stage 2. So the first stage is a game-based assessment, where you literally play a game and then it'll test loads of behaviours in the background. If you pass that stage, it's then an online assessment. Sorry, that application form. Number 2, online assessment, game-based is number 3, sorry about that. And number 4 is the video interview. So you will come on and you will, sorry, the notifications are confusing me then. So 4, you'll come on and do your video interview. So what you'll do is you talk to the screen, which is kind of prepping you for this virtual world anyway. You'll answer all the questions to the screen. It won't be an actual person behind it. So you'll have a few minutes to prep answers, and then you will just portray it to the screen as if you was talking to somebody. After that, it's the assessment centre. So it's a 5-hour kind of session, and it's meant to give you a hint of the day in the life at PwC. You'll do a few different tasks in that day, a numerical assessment, a written, and also some interviews and a group-based discussion. So it's a really good day just to see you as a whole student and really get a good feel. At the end, you will get an outcome from PwC. So if you're a school and college leaver or the university routes like I'm on, it'll be a yes or a no. If you are on this Flying Start degree route, you will get told from PwC side, yes. However, it is dependent on grades for that one, because obviously you need to get the UCAS side too. So just please look for the Flying Starts, like your entry requirements first prior, and then the same process though for PwC. Nothing will change for that one. So please, anyone about any questions about the programs or the route to get in, anything like that, please drop in the chat box. Colleagues on this call are noting them all, so don't worry, your questions will get answered. But we're just going to move on to a few skills sessions now. So the first skills session we're going to look at is your personal brand. So before we start anything, I just want to know what you think is included when talking about personal brand. So if you've got any ideas, please drop them in the chat box. Any idea is a good idea. There's no right or wrongs at this point. Just want to see some feedback from you guys. What do you think's included when we're talking about personal brand? Any key words that you might think of about personal brand? Well, don't worry, if anyone is still struggling, you're not supposed to know. Yeah, I've seen a couple come in now. So what represents you? Yeah, very, very true. I'm going to go on to the definitions in a minute. Yeah, fab, some great ones coming in now. Your skills, qualities, how you represent yourself. Yeah, fab, all great ideas. Yeah, great. Fab, thanks for using the chat, guys. It's really great when you get interactive. So just moving on then. So we say your personal brand is how you promote yourself, which is great because I've seen that come in the chat a few times. So it's how you promote yourselves to your surroundings and the world around you. In depth, it's kind of unique combinations of your skills, experience, and how you want the world to see you and how you want to act in it. So literally, it's kind of mimicking all these chat questions, a lot of saying about skills, qualities, yeah, fab, all correct. And then it's also about the telling of your story and how it reflects your conduct, behaviour, spoken and unspoken words and attitude. So I think that kind of in a nutshell is everything you guys have added. So all fab, thanks so much for getting involved. So yeah, your personal brand is kind of you in a nutshell, how you want to be portrayed, how you want to be viewed by others, and how you just add to the world. Now, this is really important when going into professional employment, because obviously this is how you're going to be seen by your peers, and how it's really good to have a knowledge of how you want to be seen too, to know that you're going in with the right mindset and the right kind of portrayal of yourself. So in terms of communication, this communication feeds into personal brand quite highly. So the 3 ways in which we communicate are tone of voice, body language, and what you physically say. So we're going to play a little game of higher and lower if people like to get involved. So if somebody wants to start off with tone of voice, what percentage do you think this is how we communicate? Someone wants to put a... Yep, confidence is good. But if anyone wants to pick a percentage, whether it be low, high, whatever. Yep, so I'll start it off. So I'll say tone of voice is 40% the way we communicate. Do people think higher than that or lower? Great, we've got some different answers. A lot are thinking quite lower, 25. Some have gone quite high to 70. Fab. 40. So a bit of a mix there then. Fab. I am going to reveal the answers on the next slide. So a lot of people are saying lower. Great. So in contrast then to body language, how much do we think that is a percentage of how we communicate? 38, 33. Anybody think higher than that? 60? Fab. Higher, yeah. 50. Great. I think body language is higher than tone of voice. 40, 30. Great. It's good to know that you've all got such a mix of opinions, because it means these sessions are useful and going to help, because when we reveal the answers. 40, yeah. Tone of voice, yeah. Fab. So then last one, how much do we think what we actually say is the big percentage of how we communicate? Do people think it's lower than the other two we've already talked about, or do people think what you say is a high percentage of how we actually communicate? Wow, 100%. Somebody thinks 100% what we say is how we communicate. High. A lot of high answers for this one. $45. Lower. Yeah. 30. Great. A lot of different answers, which is always fab to see. 10, as low as 10%. Great. 60, 35. Great. Thanks so much for getting involved. I will now let you all know. So, body language is the highest percent of how we communicate. So, in terms of body language, we're talking about eye contact, we're talking about posture, and we're also talking about kind of your overall picture when you're talking to someone, how your body is influencing what you say. Tone of voice is also quite a high one compared to the others. So tone of voice is kind of changing your, obviously, vocabulary and how you're saying things to the correct peer. For example, knowing how to speak to your friend versus how to speak to your manager, and what kind of tone of voice can influence people's perception and also feelings about a certain topic. What you say, 7%. So the person that put 10, well done, very low. So it just proves, kind of links into the other two. You got to think about it. If you said the exact same phrase in a slunched, kind of not interested voice, versus if you said the exact same phrase, but looking at someone's eyes, sitting up straight, really being enthusiastic about something, it can portray the whole message very differently. Like one of my colleagues said, it's not what you say, it's how you say it. So yeah, really great one, guys, to keep on board throughout life, whether you come to PwC, whether no matter what job you get, even if you're still at school finishing up, really try to take on board how you're presenting yourself to different peers. For example, your teachers, tutors, friends, families, but then also your professional side, because it really does have an influence on how you are perceived. So a few things that can help alter these kind of things, which are specifically included, for example, your dress sense. Please think about attires for different occasions. For example, if you came to work in an office, joggers and trainers probably aren't the best shout if you want to present yourself in a professional, respectable sort of way. Also things like habits. So if you're trying to be in a professional setting with a client or your boss or your manager, certain things which are disengaging, like talking with your hand over your mouth, biting your nails, kind of just looking out the window, stuff like that, can really have a negative impact. So please just think of all the things that can be portrayed when you are communicating with someone, and obviously keep the body language in mind, because obviously these studies have shown that that is the biggest way someone is going to listen or interpret the way you say things. So to make a positive impact in any kind of communication setting, and how to make a positive impact on your personal brand, one thing, a smile. Smile goes a long way, especially if you're going into kind of a new setting, a new office, if you're first on the job, or if someone new is joining the team. Little things like smiles here and there for reassurance go a long way. It really does make a positive impact, and it adds to that whole communication, because it's your body language, how you're portraying yourself. Eye contact, another one. You've probably got told this a million times in school already. It really does make the conversation personal. Even now, when I'm on camera, I've got my slides separate, because I feel like if I'm not even looking at the screen, there's no kind of relationship there at all. Another one, listening. It's kind of common, people would say that, but really listening, not just kind of taking it in one ear and out the other, actually listening to what people are saying, taking it on board and acting on it. It gives a positive impact to your work setting and in your personal brand. So all these are really fab ideas. I'm sure a lot of you already know them. I'm not trying to be patronising or anything, but all just to keep it on board, because it really does go a long way, no matter what level in a company you are or what age. It really does go a long way. So we've got a couple of videos for you now, guys. So the situation the videos are set in is if you were on a client project and you think one of your team members is starting to underperform, how you would act. However, the videos are also an interview kind of way. So what we want you to do is look at the interviews. I'm going to play the first one, and then after it's finished, I'd like you to just pop in the chat how you found the person, what did it say about their personal brand, would you do the same in interviews? So yeah, I just want to get your feedback on it. We have tested the software, so you should be able to hear the videos fine, but any issues, just pop it in the chat.
So what would I do? So I think I'd ask them, my colleague, if they want to go outside, out of the building, and I don't know, take a walk, and I would ask them that if they had any problems at home, because that could be impacting their performance at work, and also if they have too much work and if they're struggling with the workload, I think. And also I would, if they said that they were, I would suggest that they speak to a manager or their career coach. And I'd also tell them that if I do deem it too big a problem, I would tell my manager and flag my manager to make sure that we got the best out of everyone. Yeah, that's what I do.
Fab, I hope you all managed to hear that fine. So what did we think about that one quickly? Just any quick thoughts about that candidate and how that video interview came across? Do we generally think that were a good video from the candidate's point of view? Do we think it was a bad personal brand? Anybody got anything to pick up on that video? Came across rude, yep. Body language. No eye contact, 100%. This is what we mean about eye contact. If you're not looking, even if it's a video interview, it's so disengaging. Unprofessional, yep. Fidgeting. Did you see how she was playing around with her hair, taking hair out, mid-conversation? Yep, fab, all great answers. You definitely hit the nail on the head. So there is another one, but we're just running a little short. So basically, how to improve that would be, like you said, talking clearly at the camera, talking loud enough so everyone can hear without mumbling, eye contact, not fidgeting with hair, not picking nails, scratching faces. So yeah, you've picked up on all the great ones, 100%. Interview skills are something good to keep your eye on because you're going to need them, whether that be in person or virtual. So yeah, really good that you're all picking up on them skills. So to reflect, you don't have to reflect now or you don't have to reflect in later sessions, but just in general, this session, just reflect on how you want to promote yourself to the world and to your bosses, to your family, to your teachers, everything. And just have a look at how these little factors like communication, body language, tone of voice, all play an impact on how you are going to come across to others. So one more little skill session is online etiquette. I'm just going to whiz through this one. So this is 2 different messages. So the first message says, that task was really tough. Thanks for helping me out, the smiley face. Versus, I found this task challenging and I was really grateful for your support. Thank you. What do we think the difference is and who do we think each message should be sent to? So for the first one, a bit more short and abbreviated with a smiley face, who do we think that would be appropriate to send to? Friend, yep, fab, friends. Everyone's saying friend, yeah, 100%. So in a work setting, this would be, in terms of work, we would only expect this kind of text if it were to a close colleague in the team. The second one is way more appropriate for any sort of manager or formal kind of setting where people may not know you. The use of the emoji, that's not really professional for a manager. And even though both the exact same message, we're just showing how online stuff can get interpreted differently via the use of emojis, shortened words, abbreviations. So keep that one in mind if you do start applying online and doing kind of things in the virtual world. Take that on board. So why is online etiquette so important? So online etiquette now is the way we're going to communicate ourselves virtually. So it's very important because of COVID-19. A lot of us are working from home. So it's a big change and it's very hard to kind of get the same interpretations at this kind of software versus sitting at a table with someone in person and being able to read their kind of body language and everything like that. So it's really important because a lot of working from home. It develops your personal brand, even the way you communicate yourselves online, that adds to them features that we were talking about earlier. So it also makes sure that people are heard and respected. So knowing when to kind of invite others to speak on a call, try not to talk over each other. It makes sure we've got an inclusive community also online as well as in person. So top tips if you are going to be doing any online interviewing or if you get a job where you are expected to work virtually. Number 1, always pay full attention in meetings. So a lot of us, when we've got 2 screens, it's very easy to have something on this screen and that screen as well. So people can tell really fast if you are multitasking. You know, you can hear the type of the keyboard or eyes somewhere else, which can be really confusing and quite disturbing for other people on the call. So please, full attention in meetings, which would be appreciated. Try not to interrupt others. This is quite hard to control because you never know when someone else is going to start talking at the exact same time with you. So don't worry, it's not the end of the world if this happens. But if it does happen, just try and be quite respectable about it. You know, potentially just say, oh, sorry about that, apologise, and then invite the other person to speak. It's really respectable. It just keeps the conversation going. And yeah, eye contact, even though you're on camera, it's so important. You can still tell when someone's looking at the screen versus looking away or looking at the floor, looking on the phone. So yeah, keep that one for online. Be punctual. You know, there's still no excuses for missing meetings, etc. online just by not showing up. It's still like the same world, but taken online. You know, you have your diaries, you have your deadlines, you have your calendars. So please keep on top of your timings and always be punctual for meetings, or at least let people know if you are running late or going to have to miss. Think about your abbreviations online. It's easy when you are talking to other people to get into kind of like your slang. So at PwC, we've got so many abbreviations for the different courses and things we use. However, when someone new joins the team or if we are across different lines of service, just make sure all the vocabulary using and kind of softwares and all the abbreviations, everyone can understand them globally or like in your teams. That's a big one, to try and not make people feel left out or not involved. So just make sure the vocab you're using is like sufficient and relevant to the settings. Minimize your noise. If you're not talking, the polite thing to do is keep yourself on mute, just so there's no background noise, because that can be really annoying when you're talking that you can hear yourself talking back. And also just introduce yourself and any new colleagues to each other. Being virtual and being on the online world is as kind of challenging as it is. We don't want anyone to feel even more awkward or left out. So if you're in a new call, invite others to speak, direct them by their names, and yeah, try and keep the teamwork going even though you are online. So I'm just going to skip this one because I do know you've got networking later, but basically just get all your questions out in the networking. You can have a quick read through, but per goal, so when you go today to the booths, although you may be shy and awkward, maybe just feel a bit awkward going into the booths and being quite direct to employers, make the most of your opportunities. Everyone's got the same questions. There are going to be so many different students in the same boat as you, but please just take the most of the opportunity and yeah, set yourself a goal to at least speak to 1 or 2 employers, and that will encourage you to carry on. And once you know you've done that, you can pretty much speak to anyone. So quickly for PwC, if you go online or you take this QR code, we have an employability hub. So we have a big wealth of resources, whether you're applying to PwC or someone completely different, on interview tips, assessment day tips, kind of being a team player, work conduct, so many different resources. So please have a look at that. Even if you're not particularly interested in the courses I've talked about, it can help you in various different ways. If any of the 3 courses, the Flying Start Accounting, Tech Degree Apprenticeship, or the Business Management in Ulster University sound appealing to you, we've got an event in our virtual park on the 9th of December specifically for these courses. So there's no obligation. All you do to these courses are come to the virtual park, which is our new kind of virtual software. So you come and you've got a little avatar and you can move around the world and speak to recruiters like myself and my teams about what the programs entail. You can get any questions off your mind, and you can also just listen to the presentations and get more knowledge about the courses that I've run through with you today. So that is it. Sorry that the last were a bit rushed. I just wanted to make sure I got through all the content for you, but I'm keen to get all of your questions that may have come through.
Thank you so much, Rebecca. That was super interesting. I really, really loved the personal branding kind of workshop there. And students, well done. I loved seeing all of your input in the chat as well. So we have been keeping track of all of your questions, and we do have a bit more time left with Rebecca now to kind of pick her brain as such about life at PwC and some of the things that she's spoken about. So I'm going to kick off with one of the questions that kind of came in quite early, but I think is super important. And that is, what is the work culture like at PwC?
Yeah, I was quite happy when that came in, because that's one of the biggest things as an employee to kind of sell about PwC. It's a great work culture. You know, I'm only technically an intern, that's kind of my title. However, you're so included in the firm. My team kind of ranges from senior managers and team leaders to interns like myself. You know, in the Leeds office that I'm based at, we also have the director of student recruitment, and we all just sit on the exact same table. We all jump in and out of calls, and we all just help each other throughout the day with what things we need. We've already had like some team away days where we go out for dinner or we stay in for kind of like activities, and it's just kind of team building. So yeah, that's something they've really got under wraps at PwC. They've got loads of benefits, kind of stuff like healthcare, eye test, anything. They kind of really want to get the most out of you. And yeah, the work culture is really, really good.
Amazing. That sounds super positive. Thank you, Rebecca. And then we had a question come in that was a bit more focused, I guess, on what you're doing at PwC. And this was, does your placement affect kind of how you balance your degree, and kind of what is the work-life balance like in terms of that?
Yeah, so for myself, I've done 2 years at university already, and the course I am is a sandwich kind of year, so you have a full year out of university. So for this year, while I'm at PwC, I don't have to worry about my degree at all. I have this year out, and then once I go back, I will do my last year and graduate. However, for the other courses, so for the Flying Start courses, you do get allocated time for placements, but once you're on placement with us, you're not expected to do anything at university, or if you're at university, you're not expected to do anything for PwC. So we really do understand the kind of work-life balance, and we don't want to intrude on your learning or your university degree. So they've got that quite set up good. There's specific deadlines, and like I said, once you're with us, you've got no other commitments in terms of getting modules done or revising. You're with us, so don't worry about that kind of split. The courses are set up for students, and we've taken everything like that into account.
Amazing. Nice to hear that there's kind of lots of support, I guess, for students and anyone who will be joining in the early career space there. So one of the questions that we had as well, kind of when you were going through the opportunities about PwC, was if you could tell us a little bit more about what the Insight Week is. So I know we've got quite a few Year 12s on the call today who'll be interested to hear about that.
Yeah, sure. So Virtual Insight Week was something that we used to run in person. However, it's been moved, obviously, to Virtual Insight Week. So basically, it's a week's worth of skill sessions. So you are free to drop in and out at any point. You are not expected. Obviously, you're more than welcome to, but you're not expected to stay for the full week. There will be kind of timetables. So I think the tech focused. So there's loads of different skill building workshops. You can speak to recruiters. You can have a go at kind of testing some of these skills out. And it's just to give you a week work experience that you can use, and it can be transferable to anything you do. We've got lots of people that have done our Virtual Insight Week and then get school and college leaver apprenticeships from that. You get a great kind of networking time, and I think it's my team run it. So you see like senior managers, you see partners, you see the director of student recruitment. It's not like you don't get the exposure is probably the best thing you get from it. Like I said, you're not obliged to stay for anything in particular. You can drop in and out of sessions, whatever feels relevant to you. But it's just a way in this kind of uncertain world to kind of get real life experience at such a big four company. And in the industry, it can be hard to get experience. So it's something we put in place for you guys to get an insight into what we do.
No, that sounds amazing. And I loved seeing that one or two of you who were maybe in year 13 had actually done it already, which is fab. So thank you for kind of, letting us know about that, students. So the next question that I wanted to ask was, I think, quite like a topical one. You spoke about kind of the online working world. And I think the kind of increase in like technology and things in the last year or so has been massive. So one of the students wanted to know, does PwC offer any cybersecurity or kind of tech opportunities?
Yes, so obviously tech in general, we have the technology degree apprenticeship, which is really sought after, and it's growing and growing. That's kind of got a focus on computer science across Belfast, Birmingham and Leeds. However, the new course in London has got a data analyst focus. However, we do have a cybersecurity business unit in PwC, and we offer courses through that. So basically, these are more the kind of your school and college leaver though, and then once you're in, you kind of specialize in them, or you can join the team Brad, or we've got basically loads of opportunities. The best thing if you're looking for specific courses like that is to kind of go onto our website and look for the business units, because some of our student courses are quite generic on the website. However, once you get in, you really have a talk with one of our recruiters and kind of pick the in-depth line of service you want to go into. But yeah, our cybersecurity team is really successful, and we've got lots of graduates, and the team's growing. So yeah, big opportunities in that area.
Amazing, thank you. And hopefully, Danish, that answers your question a little bit about kind of opportunities and courses. Definitely go and check out the PwC website. I really like that. So I'm just going to, I've just seen a really good one come up in the chat actually, which I'm just going to go to quickly. And this says, how do you know that a degree apprenticeship is for you, for those students who are kind of thinking about their next step?
Yeah, it is really down to yourselves. Obviously, I'm not on one, but I think that's because I didn't know about them at PwC and stuff before I started. My biggest thing when I left year 13 was kind of, what do I do in terms of that? I always found apprenticeships really attractive, but I was like not set enough on the kind of the industry I wanted to go into. So hence why I went to university. However, the degree apprenticeships are so attractive. I think if you've got quite a need for a degree and you're quite an academic person and want to have that behind you, but you also are quite keen to get out there and get into the real world and get the experience, it is right for you. it sells itself really, coming out of uni with no debt, a full-time salary, and only being like 22 maybe once you've fully graduated and you've got none of this debt and you've got a salary. It speaks volumes for itself. But yeah, it's kind of down to yourselves. I can't pick it for you. However, please look into it. It's a great scheme. They are really competitive, showing so many students want them. But yeah, I think if you want both a degree and you want to get some experience, probably the best route for you.
Some great advice there, and I definitely encourage you to kind of visit the PwC booth as well today if you want some kind of more in-depth advice on degree apprenticeships or anything kind of specific to any of the opportunities that you've heard about today. So I'm going to quickly just do one more question, which I love to always ask people, and I think it's such a valuable one for the students to hear. And this is, what advice would you give your 18-year-old self, Rebecca?
I would say kind of trust yourself. I think at 18 you're quite naive to everything. However, like, trust your gut. There's nothing you can't work towards. You know, if you'd have told me at 18 that I was going to be working for like one of the big 4 companies, like, I wouldn't have. To be fair, when I was applying for my placements, because we were in COVID, they were all a bit up in the air. So I was just applying, and then when I got it, I was like, oh my God, I've actually got it. But trust yourself. There's nothing you can't do or study towards or aim towards. And I think until you're in this kind of, especially because I'm in recruitment now and I see the wealth of students coming through, don't doubt yourself, go for the opportunities. Even if they don't work out, it'll still teach you something in the process, no matter if you get it or if you don't. So yeah, I would tell myself just to go for it and try everything you can.
Love that as some passing advice. Thank you so much, Rebecca. It's been great to hear you talk today and hear a bit more about your journey. Thank you.
Thanks, guys. Thanks for all getting involved.
Amazing. So, wow, what a good talk to kind of kick the day off. And really, it was great to hear Rebecca talk about that. But I'm super excited to kind of move on to the next section as well. So, as you all have seen earlier, we will be doing networking sessions for the next kind of hour and a half. So, just for those who kind of maybe joined a bit late, I just want to kind of recap on how this will work. So there's lots of ways that you can connect with employers in the virtual booth today. So you'll be able to use the chat box to ask any questions. And in the virtual booth, you'll also be able to turn on your video and microphone. All you need to do is ask a representative for a video chat. So please feel kind of empowered and confident when you go into the booth, just to have a chat with the representatives there. They're all really excited to talk to you. And yeah, they're looking forward to telling you a bit more about what they do, the opportunities that they have as well. And once again, if you do need any tech support, you can come to the help desk, or there is also an Uptree booth where some of our education team will be there if you do have any kind of career related questions as well. Oh, thank you guys. So, lots of lovely thank yous in the chat for Rebecca there. So yeah, as you can see, we've got lots of really exciting employers who will be waiting for you in the booth. And that will kick off in a few minutes. We just wanted to give you a little bit of a break before you go into that session, which will start at 2:05. So I'm going to let you all go now, have a bit of an explore, but also feel free just to take a minute after this session, just to kind of have a quick break and grab a drink before you get into the networking sessions. So I hope that you really enjoy the rest of today, and we will see you later on for our final live session, where we'll be having another really exciting speaker from one of our employers joining us. Thanks so much, guys.